Is he somebody, just with the openings you have and the skill set he has, I mean, potentially fit in there in a top six mix?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. You know, I thought Taro came last year and made lots of plays, and in the end, I thought he earned the opportunity to come to camp in a pretty good spot. Now, whether he stays in that spot, you know, I think there's some question marks on that line. Like in that line, is there enough shooters? Is there enough hardness at the net? Those are things we got to wait and see. But I think Taro's earned a chance to come to camp and show in greater capacity what he can do. So he's real smart. He makes real smart decisions with the puck. He's not the biggest guy. He's not the fastest guy. So he has to be ultra smart. He's got to be efficient when he does it. I thought he did that for the most part last year.
Was that, I mean, the hockey IQ, he kind of has some of that you can't teach.
Yeah, he's got elite hockey smarts. You know, I think it helps separate himself that way. He's just got to keep using those hockey smarts, and then he's got to do a real good job of managing his game.
You saw him a little bit on the prospect tournament and then the first couple days of camp. What have you thought of Sider?
Well, I thought Sides did a real good job in the prospects tournament of showing his skill set. Now, he didn't always manage his game great. I thought he managed his game in the last game. I thought he was really tired, you know, but you know, it's certainly a different Sider than what I saw in the World Championships, where he was playing real safe because of the role he was in as a young kid playing in the men's worlds. I thought he attacked the game here. He's got real good instincts, real good brain, can move. He's big. Let's see when it starts to get more real.
So what would be realistic expectations? I mean, is that a kid that just has to kind of like manage his game and then just whatever happens along the way?
At the end of the day, you got to make way more good plays than bad. That's how every player is judged, and the reason for that is because the bad plays always seem to end up in your net more. You know, and not just him, just anybody in general. Right. So I'm just going to watch. Like, I don't have expectations really. He's 18 years old. I know that very, you know, that's a real young age for a defenseman. I really like him. I like his makeup as a person. I like his moxie. I like his brain. I like his skill set. I think he's going to be a real good player. I just don't know when.
Was he not out of place at the World Championships? I mean, did he play pretty good brand?
He got hurt there. You know, so he limited the number of games. Now, I was able to see him against us in exhibition. I was able to see him against us another time. I was able to see him. No, sorry, he didn't play in the second game, but I was able to see him in some games, and I thought he was impressive. You know, like you don't get the same forecheck pressure, but man, for an 18-year-old kid, I thought he did an unreal job of handling pressure when he had it, and made real good poised plays and managed his game great. So, you know, I've been excited to see the offense that he's showing. I think a lot of people have questioned that. I think that's an unfair thing to question when, you know, he played at such the levels he played. He played with men. Like, how do you know, if he was playing high school last year, I don't think anybody would have questioned it. So, you know, I think there's a skill set there. He's a real prospect for sure. You know, we'll just see how he does here in exhibition.
What is Patrick Nemeth bring to the blue line here?
Man, he's strong as an ox, boy. He's strong. He wins puck battles. He wins net front battles. We haven't been good enough in front of our net. We haven't been good enough at getting pucks out on the power play. We haven't been good enough of creating stalls in the D zone. He does all those things. He just brings. He knows how to defend. He's got a good shot offensively, but he knows what he is. He's a really good defender. And we went into the free agency. My take was, let's get 200-foot players, and he's a 200-foot player. And then we needed to become a better penalty killing team. And the best way to do that is to add great penalty killers. You know, he blocks shots for fun. So. I think he's going to be a real good addition. I think he's a lot of what we didn't have, and I think he's a big man.
Is there any advantage culture-wise? He's a guy who just coming from a team that just did what you guys are kind of trying to do, going from the bottom up on the upswing.
Well, I think every player comes with different experiences, and certainly, you know, I was picking his brain a little bit on what his training camp's been like in Dallas and in Colorado and that. And I think every time you get some outside influence, you know, you can choose to learn from it, and I certainly try to choose, and I think our players do too. So, you know, I think when a player's been in those spots, he knows that you're never that far away from being real good, and you're probably never that far away from being bad in this league.
How important was it for Kuffner to have the prospects tournament that he had, just to produce and show that he can contribute offensively, at least in that tournament.
Well, I thought Cuff did a real good job in the prospects tournament. And I thought he was okay when he came to play for us at the end of the year. So I think for him to come to the prospect tournament, that just gives all of us confidence in him, and it gives him self-confidence, which is probably the most important. I think he's. I don't want to speak for him when he left, but I think having played the way that he played out here in the prospects tournament, I think he feels better about himself, and you can see it when he practices now.
Moritz said, or sounds like he would prefer to stay in North America. Isn't that a very strong argument for that? Even if he's not in Detroit, you have him 2 hours away in Grand Rapids, and keep an eye on his training, everything and the adjustment to the ice sheet.
I wanted to go to law school when I got done with college. I think I could make a strong argument for any place for him to play, to be dead honest with you. You know what I mean? So certainly there's arguments to play in North America. I think you can make arguments to play in Europe. Let's just watch him play an exhibition and see where he best fits in.
Do you think,
I would have been a good lawyer too. Way better than Coop. Way better than Coop. Go ahead.
more mature, like he's more mature than NH. He seems to have a maturity about him, to his game, to his personality.
He's a very mature person for sure. There's no doubt. The minute he came into the box with his family at the draft, his parents don't speak much English, so he had to carry his parents a little bit, and he did an unreal job of it. You could just tell he's comfortable in his own skin. Those are the guys that have true self-confidence, and he carries himself with a moxie, and he's got a little leadership Pied Piper to him, where guys want to, guys of the same age want to follow him around, and so he's got lots of real good qualities. I think he's a real good prospect.
Speaking of arguments, have you seen from Filip Zadina this year an argument to possibly cement himself as a full-time player?
How about those shoes? Check those out. Let's say full-time NHL on it, or no?
First round.
Did you guys get a pic of that?
Shoes right there.
I was distracted by the shoes. As he made an argument to cement himself, listen, we got 9 exhibition games. I don't think anybody's made an argument in the 2 days of camp. So let's watch the exhibition games and see how he does. And we're going to do what's best for Filip Zadina more than anything else. Even if I wanted to keep Filip and it wasn't, but necessarily best for him long term, boy, that would be a hard argument with management to be able to do that. It's got to make the most sense for our team, and it's got to make the most sense for him. And I think one thing that gets mistaken is just putting a kid on an NHL roster is a lot of times doesn't necessarily mean it's the best thing for their development. So we want Filip Zadina in the long term to be a really good player in this league, and we'll do what's best based on how he plays.
I know it's positive impact versus negative impact, but are there things that he could show? What would be the things he could show in preseason to show that would be best for his development? Would be the NHL.
Well, he's got to score. He's a goal scorer, and I don't know. He can't do it cheating. If you cheat for offense, you don't have any chance to win. So you got to be able to score without cheating. But to say that, and I don't want to put undue pressure on him, but over the course, you don't have to score every game, but you gotta have opportunities to score in every game, and then ultimately you got to score. Like that's what he does best. He'll have to do that while balancing being a complete player. If I were to say to him what would drive his performance, 40% of the NHL goals get scored in that little square we've been drawn on the ice. I think he can score from that other square. That's where 80% of the goals get scored, but he needs to get to the 40% in order to really score. Like that's how, I talked about that with Mantha a couple years ago with net from power play. That's where the easy goals are. So get to that area, whether it's by dragging it in yourself or most likely getting there on rebounds and stuff like that, while still being a complete player.
What do you need to see tomorrow out of that red and white scrimmage, or what do you want to see?
Just a good solid game. Camp the first 2 days has been really hard and competitive, so for me to have an expectation that's going to be a super, super hard game physically, no, I wouldn't say that. Just to be smart and see how guys stand out.
How about you want to preview tonight's game?
Holy smokes. I thought Smitty tried to take me out yesterday so he could get me out of this game tonight, but it didn't work. So we'll see. I heard the Guns and Hoses have I guess we're splitting up our squad, so it'll be a fun game to be a part of.
How are you feeling personally? You get pregame jitters? Is there going to be a routine we're going to see out there when you hit the ice?
I want to make sure I get my pads on time. I mean, I don't have. There won't be any pregame jitters for sure. It'll be fun though.
We'll see if you're watching that as well.
I hope so. I'd like to another shot at it.
How many times a year do you put the pads on?
Well,
Is it
once.
basically the only time
Yeah,
of the
once.
year?
Yeah, once. So we'll see. Just got to keep the. I just want to end up not injured.